Hey everyone, so today I'm starting a new series of videos called Self-Published Series, hashtag, and the reason for this is because I'm always being asked why I chose to go back to self-publishing, because my second novel was published by an independent publishing house called Open Books. All of the links to relevant things that I say will be below. But after that I thought, no, I want to go back to self-publishing. So I get asked a lot why, and I also get asked a lot for advice on how to go about finding a cover designer, or how to format the novel, or where to find ideas for self-publishing. So I thought this would be a good chance for me to launch this series of videos. So if there's anything specific you would like me to address in a future video, please feel free to leave it in the comments or send me a message, and I will make sure that I do cover that topic at some point. So very briefly, I'm going to take you through my experience so far with self-publishing as well as independent publishing, so we'll leave this one till last. All of my novels have been published through CreateSpace that I've self-published. The first one that was out in 2013 is Walk On, and there are certainly a lot of things I would change about this, namely the quality of the cover, but this was because this was done on the free software that CreateSpace have, and I was a student. I was working with zero budget. I'm basically working with next to no budget just now, but even less so back then. But for me, it was, even as an amateur as I was, it was a very convenient and straightforward process. And then my third novel, which I went back to for self-publishing, is Hallowed Be Thy Name. This one, as you can see, is much larger. It was a much more intense process. I changed the page colours from white to cream because I think the cream is certainly less garish and easier on the eyes. So I'd learned quite a lot from even just publishing the previous one, but I did actually pay for a professional cover designer, linked below. And I'm really glad that I did that, because this is just, for me, right now, I love it. The fourth one is actually Yours in Sisterhood by Eileen McCabe, and I was actually approached by her husband a year or so after she passed away to ask if I wanted to take her manuscript and turn it into something a bit more tangible. So I edited up her manuscript, which didn't really need that much editing, to be honest, and then self-published her novel on her behalf. And again, same cover designer, same process, same pages. This is the 8x5 size, I believe, which is my go-to size, but CreateSpace offer a whole host of other sizes, and landscape and portraits, and different sizes to fit your needs. So they're my self-published ones, and with each of those 3 books the experience has become easier, more convenient, quicker, and that's wonderful. My second novel, Celestial Land and Sea, was published by Open Books in February 2015, and this came about in quite a traditional way. I was submitting my manuscript to a selection of publishers who accepted unsolicited manuscripts, and one of them, Open Books, said, yes, we'd like to give this a chance. And I was over the moon, and I still am so very grateful for having had this published. I cannot stress that enough. And there wasn't really anything bad about this experience. It's not that I had this published and thought, oh, I didn't enjoy that, let's go back to self-publishing. For me, it's all about the element of control, and this is the way that I see it. There are 2 kinds of authors, the good author has 2 personalities. They have the business person and the artist. The business person in me is a bit lacking. I'm all about the art and the creation and the expression. So I think if you're all about generating sales and having that professional support behind you, it's more beneficial, I would say, to go with a publishing company, whether independent or a larger publishing company if you're fortunate. But for me, I need the creative control. I write novels because I have things I need to get the words out of my head. They drive me crazy if I don't write them down. To quote Lord Byron, if I don't write to empty my mind, I go mad. And for me, there are just things about this that I personally would have done differently, so to me this doesn't feel like a complete reflection of my soul and of who I am and of what I was writing. So maybe I'm just a control freak, and maybe that's why I self-publish, but for me personally that is a good thing, and that is what I need. I need to know that once I finish writing this novel I can edit it, then redraft it, etc., and then I can put it out there in the way that I vision. Obviously there are going to be downsides to self-publishing as well. I'm not saying that it's all this one big easy happy party. It can be quite costly. There are times when it can be quite lonely and you don't feel like you've got support, because quite frankly you're self-publishing, you are your own support, and it can be quite emotionally and mentally challenging. but personally I think it's such a rewarding experience. If you are interested in finding out more about my experience of self-publishing, as I said, please feel free to leave suggestions for any particular topics you would like me to address, and I will do that in a series of what will hopefully be concise and informative videos. Thank you for watching this, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye!